You ever seen those knockoff Disney movies lying around the bargain bin of your local Dollar Tree hoping to prey on ignorant grandparents who think this is what little Timmy was asking for? Yep, looks right to me. It's even got the genie. Well, I happened to stumble across a gold mine of these awful treasures, and I had to share it with someone because I can't keep this shit I witnessed suppressed forever. Someone has to know. Starting with this fake-ass Aladdin that apparently came out the same year as the real Disney's Aladdin, pissing Disney off enough to go on to sue these guys in response and lose. Cause this piece of shit was rushed out the door so fast, it actually releases before Disney's version. How similar could they even be? So all these movies start with a signature magical montage showcasing their studio's best children's classics. And that's just what the children need at the start of every good adventure. A seizure. Although to be fair, it's probably not even sensory captivating enough considering all the shit we got on YouTube nowadays.
I'll tell you the story of a Persian boy who had a great adventure and became a wealthy man.
Rhyming lyrics are for chumps. And musicians. And this guy spouts out enough exposition that it basically spoils the whole movie, letting us know that this Aladdin character is about to find a magic lamp and use it to wish for a princess to be his bride. And you gotta appreciate writers bold enough to reveal their twist ending 1 minute into the movie. We get to officially meet this Aladdin character, who's been pissing everyone off in the street market by moving his mouth without actually talking.
Good morning, sir.
What the f is wrong with your mouth? Get at it!
All he wants is to offer labor in exchange for food, but it seems like he just can't catch a break.
Good morning, noble sir. A most pleasant day, is it not?
Boy, I am neither noble nor is the day pleasant.
But you can live as a nobleman might, and then your day would surely be pleasant.
What are you talking about?
He basically just told this dude, well, maybe your life wouldn't suck so much if you weren't a massive prick.
Did Hasim sit? You must be very weary after your long journey from Africa.
Okay, I swear, I thought those voices were coming out of those kids at first and they were f***ing possessed demon spawn or something. But nope, it's just an extremely poor transition into a scene where we meet who I assume is supposed to be Jafar. But here he's just some rude, weary traveler with extremely vague motives. After only being told,
I seek only information.
That's all this fortune teller needs to hear to deduce that he's actually looking for some mysterious boy who could bring them untold riches. Once he agrees to split half the wealth with this psychic, she goes on to reveal his name, where he lives. Like, damn, she don't need a crystal ball, no seeing eye, nothing. Aladdin just straight up got doxxed. Cut back to Aladdin, and he's busy getting bullied in the streets by a gang coming out of nowhere. Some great Middle Eastern representation we got here.
Have you ever seen a jewel such as this?
But bro doesn't even know what jewelry looks like. I don't see the irony in that. But he actually wins the fight, and he's earned himself a congratulations from that mysterious stranger who's been lurking in the shadows, who now is gonna greet himself as, oh, of course, Aladdin's long-lost uncle. And he's brought great fortune to bestow upon him and his family? Where do I sign up? Will you also need my banking details? Because I'll give them to you. No questions asked. I just gotta ask that other guy if I can have my identity back first.
I'm so happy you're here, Uncle.
Not nearly so happy as I, my boy. Not nearly so happy as I.
Fucking dumbass.
It has been more years than I can remember since we have had such a feast in this house.
So wait, Aladdin's not even an orphan in this movie? Apparently he still lives with his mom, which just feels wrong for our protagonist. I know it's a Disney knockoff film, but this is Disney Storytelling 101, people. Will someone please kill this guy's mom so he can have a more tragic backstory? So fake Jafar, his name's Hasim by the way, so Hasim claims to be a wealthy man who just now came to realize what truly matters in life. Family. So he finally returns home to the family he's never met before and vows that
Neither you nor Aladdin shall ever want for anything, so long as I shall live.
And the mom's just like, aight, sounds chill, dog. He takes Aladdin out to the desert and starts performing some f***ing satanic ritual shit. Yep, totally normal rich uncle stuff.
Something tells me this was not a game played by my father, and that my uncle is not my uncle at all.
Oh, really? You pieced that one together just now all on your own, did ya?
What sort of magic is this?
The kind you can activate just by throwing pocket sand into a fire, apparently. So this giant-ass metal box spawns out of the ground, and Guy forces dude to lift with his back to get it out. I guess the pocket sand magic wasn't enough to get it out all the way? And bruh, there are handles right there. It bursts out of the ground with enough magic to make you wonder why it didn't just fly into the air in the first place, revealing the opening to a mysterious cave. Okay, what was the point of the metal crate then, exactly? It couldn't have just been a straight hole to the cave. Fucking whatever. Anyways, Hasim threatens to cut off Aladdin's legs if he doesn't plunge into the depths of the cave, really demonstrating those newfound family values. And he gives him this ring pop looking thing that's apparently supposed to protect him from harm. Too bad dumbass doesn't even remember to wear it. Seems like he won't need it though, since he's able to walk right past a room full of snakes unharmed, straight into and I kid you not, an underground Garden of Eden. And animals down here are getting straight up lit. And there's clouds. Why are there clouds down here? You wouldn't just be reusing assets from your last animated movie, would you? Nah. Well, the deer pushed the plot along to reveal that iconic lamp he's been looking for, but Aladdin's gonna act like a little bitch and doesn't want to bring it out of the cave now for some reason.
Bring that lamp up or I'll come down there and cut you to pieces!
I don't think you will.
Yeah, Hasim's not having any of that shit.
Let the cavern be closed for all time!
And it just fucking flies through the air. Where was this magic 5 minutes ago? So Aladdin gets locked in and is totally down on his luck. Whatever will he do now?
Mother always said, when there seems to be no hope, you can always reach within yourself and find an answer.
Luckily, he slightly nudges the lamp with his hand for a brief moment, and that's all it's gonna take for him to turn his luck around.
Boy, that's what I call getting a fast answer.
Okay, I've been saving you the secondhand embarrassment up to this point, but Aladdin's been spitting out stale-ass zingers like this every 5 seconds like he's king of the fucking Deadpool fan club. That's my territory. So anyways, the lamp started blasting.
Stop it!
As you command, master.
He says as he continues to singe off Aladdin's shoulder with another magic laser.
It is I, oh master. I, the slave of the lamp.
Do I really want to see this?
I swear, everything this guy says just has that, well, that went well, corny-ass sitcom energy. But hey, this is different. I don't think I've ever seen a genie portrayed with such low self-esteem before.
Oh, why doesn't he like me? Oh, maybe it's my breath. I know I bathed this morning.
Hey, cheer up, man. I'm sure he'll love you when you're awesome powers. He just needs to give your smelly ass a chance.
Enough with the crying. Are you trying to drown me?
No, master. I'll be a good genie. Ask anything.
You know what? I'm just gonna say what we're all thinking. He'll never live up to the iconic performance of Robin Williams as the genie. Anyways, this genie doesn't seem to be doing the whole 3 wishes and I can't make anyone fall in love cliche. Instead, he's just desperate enough for Master's approval to do basically anything Aladdin wants. He poofs him out of the cave and straight back home to be introduced to Aladdin's mom, who still isn't dead yet.
I've got this magic lamp with a genie inside.
I won't hear of it. Magic is dangerous, Aladdin.
But she won't hear of any of this voodoo witchcraft.
Oh, well, good son that he was, Aladdin obeyed his mother's wishes and put the lamp away.
That's right, boys and girls. Aladdin's a good boy who always listens to his parents. Or parent, I guess. But wait, seriously? Where the f did that narrator just come from? We're almost halfway through the movie, and this is the first time we're hearing this narrator say a peep. Unless you count that opening number where he sings the entire plot of the movie, which I don't. It's also this late into the movie that we finally meet the princess we've been told he falls in love with.
Father, isn't it going a bit far to make everyone in the city stay inside just because I wish to visit the bathhouse?
No man I have ever met is worthy to look upon your face, Leila. Until I find a husband suitable for you, you shall remain shielded from all men's eyes.
And I'm not sure if you can hear it, cause I sure didn't, but the princess is actually voiced by none other than Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson. This movie actually has a pretty stacked voice cast, all things considered. You got Jeff Bennett, who plays the genie, Maurice LaMarche as the Sultan we just heard a moment ago, Corey Burton, who was also in Disney's Aladdin coming out the same year. Then there's Candy Milo and Rob Paulson from Jimmy Neutron and the Ant Bully, which I also happen to make a video about. Why not check that out next? Maybe these guys weren't so well known at the time, but a lot of them go on to be some big names who I'm sure are now wishing desperately to be erased from the credits of this movie. And so much for Aladdin being a good boy, cause he's gonna sneak out to take a peek at this so-called princess, just as some harmless 90s cartoon fun, even though his mom said that
The penalty for looking upon the face of his daughter is death beneath the hooves of stampeding camels.
See, this is why you get picked on by random street dwellers.
This had better be worth it. They haven't built the bathhouse Aladdin can't break into.
Okay, so breaking into bathhouses to spy on bathing women is just another Tuesday for this creep.
She's incredible. And I thought this was gonna be difficult.
But it is gonna be difficult. Cue that running away from sword-wielding soldiers montage over some Arabian music.
Please, horse, don't move.
And they just angrily shake their fists in silence as he rides away into the night. Hopefully they don't, remember what he looks like or anything. Or he's about to have a face full of camel toe in the worst kind of way. So Aladdin decides he wants to marry this princess, and his mom straight up laughs in his face.
You want to marry the Sultan's daughter?
Well, maybe you'll change your tune when you see what I've hidden away all these years.
And he proceeds to pull out enough jewels from the magic cave of wilderness to end their poverty for life. Yep. That's just been sitting here, up in my room, for years, apparently. I was just waiting for a good time to use them. Your brother starved to death, Aladdin. They offer the jewels to the Sultan in exchange for his daughter's hand in marriage, and he's tempted, but is ultimately talked out of it and tells Aladdin to beat it unless he can bring her 80 servants, each carrying a chest full of such jewels. And this is finally when he's able to convince his mother to let him use that magic lamp again.
Don't tell me not to use it.
My son, there is a time for all things. Perhaps now is the time for magic.
I don't know where all that integrity of yours was when she told you not to break into the palace to spy on the princess, but here we are.
Easy now. You leave me stuck inside this lamp for 4 years, and all of a sudden you expect me to pop up the second you rub it.
4 years? He's been sitting on jewels in a magic lamp for 4 years. Well, guess what? This ain't no Disney genie rules, because he's perfectly happy to be granting what seems like an infinite number of wishes. So Aladdin returns with 80 servants carrying 80 chests worth of jewels, and
Father, who is this man?
I believe he is to be your husband, my dear.
wow. The princess immediately falls in love with him. Female empowerment? Not in my Aladdin. They have the most perfect wedding, and the genie builds them a mighty empire equally as grand as the one they came from, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Psych. Remember that Hasim guy who's apparently just been sitting on his own failure these past 4 years? Well, he gets wind of Aladdin's newfound fortune and realizes there could only be one logical explanation. So he devises a plan so evil, so genius.
Trade your old lamps for new. Trade your old lamps for new ones.
This is a chance for me to impress Aladdin with my shrewdness. Hurry to the dining chamber and bring that old lamp Aladdin keeps in the cabinet.
Oh, you dumb skank. Well, now that he's finally acquired the lamp, Mom says it's his turn to own a fancy palace with the princess now. Seeing that his daughters vanished out of thin air, the Sultan now plans on executing Aladdin in some of the worst ways imaginable. I mean, not even camels is enough for this guy anymore.
Perhaps the Sultan would prefer to plan a celebration, for I have news of where his daughter is. She is a prisoner of the magician Hasim Khalifa, a snake of a man who does not keep his bargains.
And that's the news worth celebrating? Don't worry, she's not dead. She's just being held prisoner by a murdering sociopathic wizard. What a relief! Who wants punch? I guess the Sultan does take the news well, though, since he's giving Aladdin a chance to find and rescue her. So after a quick traveling montage sequence, he makes his way to Africa and...
My own true love. Can I be dreaming?
No, you're not dreaming, Layla. But unless we want this to turn into a nightmare, we must find my lamp.
Oh, Hasim keeps it always with him, Aladdin.
Yeah, cause he's not a fucking moron who leaves his magic lamp lying around for anyone to steal. But that won't stop Aladdin. He's gonna sneak into Hasim's room while he's sleeping. Yeah, and he's gonna kill him. Oh, wait, no, he's just cutting the lamp free. So he gets the lamp back, and the genie's all...
What now, Master? What can you possibly ask for that I have not already given to Aladdin? It is you!
Shh. But what makes Aladdin such a saint to be seen? He had the same lustful wishes of wives and riches too. He wishes for his palace and wife back that he stole first, fair and square, but is still stupid enough to let Hasim walk free so the plot can continue going back and forth between who's stealing the lamp from who. This time, he's gonna attempt to disguise himself as that old psychic lady, but Aladdin sees through the disguise and initiates a final sword battle to settle things once and for all. Get him. What, did you expect Aladdin to have any kind of agency in this victory tier? He literally solved all of his problems in life by dumb luck and get-rich-quick schemes. And what a great lesson to teach the kids. If you're a poor, struggling family, just do something that makes you rich and you'll find happiness. It's really that easy. Just have money or a powerful uncle who knows where you can get money. Problem solved.
And so Aladdin defeated once and for all the evil magician Hasim. In years to come, he proved the most generous of princes, and a love which would live through the ages in story and song. And best of all, wise Aladdin chose to build a royal bathhouse within the walls of the palace.
Oh, wait. We're not seriously ending this movie on a joke about the narrator pervishly creeping on women in bathhouses.
Placing myself in charge.
You can't just do that. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Not the self-insert fetish. Come on, guys. You know what? Disney should have won that lawsuit. Why are these allowed to exist? Kill them. Kill them with fire. Especially that one.
Heartbeat pounding, terrorist delight, endless storm at night.